12 weeks, the before and after photos, shed the weight, transform your body, restrict your diet, prove yourself. Now, if those words make your stomach tighten a little, well, that's probably a good thing, because today I'm going to make the case that the transformation challenge is possibly one of the worst things that can ever happen to you if that's something you've done in midlife. You're listening to the Real Longevity Podcast, your number one podcast resource for living a longer life. Here we discuss topics on personal fitness, longevity, and real lasting elevation of mind, body, and spirit. Join us as we build a community of healthy men and women enjoying lasting levels of real health and vitality. If you're currently feeling frustrated with pain, flat, or fed up with aging faster than you actually are, you're invited to join us each and every week here on the Real Longevity Podcast. Welcome to the Real Longevity family and get ready to live a life you truly love. Welcome to the Real Longevity Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Hendricks, and today we have another outstanding, informative and elevating show for you. I'd like to welcome all first-time listeners to the podcast. And please be sure to stay to the end of the show where I'll be sharing all my social media links where you can connect with me and the Real Longevity Podcast community. Welcome. So happy to have you here once again. I hope you are healthy and well and living a vital life. Now, today's a bit of a manifesto episode. I'm going to share some things with you. I want to talk about the language of the fitness market and why the industry probably its favorite tool, and that is the aggressive transformation challenge, is possibly quite working against you and not really helping the people that it's trying to target. And it's important to understand this because how we talk about health shapes how we pursue it. Language is very, very important. And the most of the talk that is aimed at is, I believe, the language that is chosen to be used is wrong and harmful. Now, this is why we're talking about today, thinking about being strong, not skinny, or being strong, not skin, and the end of the transformation challenge. Strong, not skinny, the end of the transformation challenge. That is what our topic of discussion is today. Now, I'm sharing this because, as I mentioned, language is very, very important. The myth that its motivation comes from pressure, that people are more likely to change from pressure. People are more likely to change from shame. People are more likely to change from having a very strict and demanding and dramatic deadline. You've heard me say before in the past how I used to share and used to promote, drop a dress size in 2 weeks or shape up for summer and get your body back in 2 weeks. That whole model, it kind of runs on making you feel bad about where you are right now, and you're probably not enough where you are right now, and then you've got to do this mad sprint towards this end deadline or towards this finish line. And if I'm being honest, it works. I've worked and done transformation challenge and I've had really good success with certain clients, but only for that time window. And this is what we're talking about today. We say, drop a dress size or get fit for summer, and you follow a protocol, and within that time period, you see the results. Then what happens? It collapses. You're left feeling like a failure, and you're back to square one. And that model of that transformation challenge, it wasn't really designed for you to sustain or maintain. It was designed to do what it does, exactly as it says on the tin, so to speak, to get you from A to B within a set time window. But we're not talking about that. Here on the Longevity Podcast, we're talking about changing and making changes that's going to transform you, not for 6 weeks, not for 6 months, but for life. So you can upgrade your fitness and health and well-being and produce and perform like you should, being pain-free, doing the things that you want to do, not just for a 6-week period, for the rest of your life. And this is something I've learned, and this is what 3 decades of coaching and being in the fitness and well-being space. has taught me. And it's all about sustainability, being able to maintain and sustain your health after the age of 45, going to your 50s, 60s, older. That's what we're trying to educate you, the listener, on, so you can make better choices, understanding whether you are now in your 40s or whether you're now in your 60s or 70s, making better choices for you. Sustainable health. And that's the opposite to a challenge, isn't it? If you think about a challenge, time window from A to B and that's it, done. Sustainability, longevity is about lifetime. It's built on, and this is what 3 decades has taught me and what I've seen, what's got lasting results. It's built on vitality. It's built on longevity. It's built on that functional independence. So being able to take the information, maybe what I'm sharing with you, or you've got this from somewhere else, and being able to apply it functionally and independently in your life. And it's built on restoration. It's not built on a finish line. Yes, it's important to have a set window. My programs operate either with a real rejuvenation program, initially for a 4-month period, or if you're working on the Core Build Accelerator system, that's an 8-week period where we'll get you working together on specific things. But beyond that, and within that, you're learning things that you can apply for the rest of your life. It's not just about what we're going to do in this short period of time. And that's important to remember. Sustainability and consistency over a period of time, and you are going to see those results, not just for a 6-week period, but for a long period of time. And this is why the Transformation Challenge model is kind of flawed or limited in what it offers in terms of results. In other words, you've heard me use the phrase before, CIA. It's consistent, intelligent approach to activity. Can you be consistent? Can you be intelligent? Can you approach it with your activity in mind in a way that's going to allow you, considering where you are now in your life, circumstances, situation, to apply that consistently every single day? When you chase that 12-week challenge or that 12-week aesthetic of getting your body to be looking a particular way, and you optimize for the scale, that's not really helping you. Or you optimize for the photo shoot, that's not really helping you. And I get it. We all want to look as best we can. There's nothing wrong with aspiring to looking really healthy, looking really vital, and looking really energized. There's nothing wrong with that. But if the sole focus is just on looking a particular way or getting the scales down to a particular number, that's very short term. And it's not going to help you long term to live a long, vital, pain-free, energized life. And this is what we're talking about here. When we're taking that approach, what's it doing? It's pushing us, especially people who have maybe not done any sort of physical activity or followed a diet protocol or eating pattern for a period of time, towards extremes, isn't it? We're trying to work within a specific deadline. We try to work with these high intensity workouts, and that's how we get hurt, not only mentally, but we also get physically. Joints get hurt. We recover longer because we're working to a level that's maybe not prioritizing our health and our joint mobility, flexibility, cardiovascular capacity to where we are right now on our journey in life. And that's between the age of 45, 50, going to our 60s and 70s. We need to do things in a more intelligent way. Consistent, intelligent approach. That's what we're talking about. So we need to understand, and this is why I'm saying, if you've tried that transformation challenge before and you've seen the results, but you find yourself now again back at square one, I'm explaining to you why that is. Because when we focus solely on that short period of time and we're not thinking beyond, it sets us up for that short-term success. And there's an emotional cost too, because if we're thinking about the age-based labels of, we have this youthful imagery and almost patronizing, saying, oh, you've still got it at that age, it's all quietly telling you that you're in a decline and you're kind of racing against the clock. If I don't do it now, I'm going to be in this position where I don't want to be. And what you're not doing is focusing on long-term health. You're not declining. You're just changing. And that's the way I want you to really think about it. So I'm going to give you some insights and steps that maybe you can apply this very week. That's going to help you just reframe way you see yourself and the way you view exercise. If you want to perform a challenge when it comes to improving a part of your fitness and health and well-being, that's fine. But frame it in a way that's going to support you, not just for the period of the challenge, but for the long term. So this week, what I want you to consider doing is notice the language. If a program tells you a shame and a deadline, where move away from it. If you've got to do this in a set period of time, it's something that you might want to consider doing differently. Now, as I said before, the Core Build Accelerator system, which I'm going to share more information about shortly, that works within a time frame. But we're not saying you have to do this by this time. We share with you results that we've got in a time window. We talk to you about your possibility and the probability of you shifting pounds, getting leaner, getting stronger, feeling more energized within a time window. But that's not the sole focus. So bear that in mind. Notice the language. If the program is telling you that you have to do this and it shames you, if you've not done it in a set time window, that's maybe something you need to walk away from. Number 2, redefine your goal in functional terms. So I want to climb the stairs without thinking, get up from the floor easily, or have a steady all day long energy. They're things that are practical, functional, and measurable, not just focusing on the scales, a waistline. Think about practical, functional terms, things that you want to do. Do you want to be able to go out and walk pain-free? Do you want to be able to get up off the floor without taking 4 hours to get up off the floor? Do you want to be able to play with your grandchildren? Go do things with your partner, your husband or your wife? Not really having to think about it because you have the confidence and the competence in your body. They're functional terms I want you to start thinking about redefining your goals in.
Losing strength, energy, and vitality after 45 can cost you years, not just months. You'll face slower recovery, stubborn belly fat, crashing energy, and mornings that start with pain and stiffness instead of strength. And fixing it the old way means expensive personal trainers who don't understand older bodies like yours, or generic programs done by ChatGPT, leading to endless trial and error with no real guidance or support. That stops today. Introducing the Core Build Accelerator system, the holistic, science-based coaching program designed to help men and women like you over 45 rebuild strength, energy, longevity, and confidence using the proven, real framework. Here's how simple it is. Step 1. Clarity. A full assessment helps you to understand where your body and habits stand right now. Step 2. Optimize. Your personalized plan aligns nutrition, movement, and mindset around what actually works after 45. Step 3. Rest and recovery. You're guided on how to recover properly so your body rebuilds and heals instead of breaking down and normalizing stress and struggle. Step 4. Exercise efficiently. Targeted, time-smart training that builds real strength without wrecking your joints or your schedule and being dependent on the gym. But here's what makes CBAS different. This isn't a generic plan you follow alone. It's real coaching, real accountability, and a community of people over 45 doing this together. No confusing science, no crash diets, no burnout and intense gym workouts. Just a clear, proven path back to strength. Start your transformation today for less than the cost of a single personal training session a week. No long contracts, no pressure. Visit thriveafter40withmike.com or use the link in the show notes to claim your spot today and take advantage of the early bird discount until the 26th of August. The only thing you have to lose is unwanted aches and pains, and another year of feeling like this is just what getting older means.
Number 3, measure progress by how you feel and function, not just what you weigh. So that ties into what we said with number 2. Can you measure your progress with how you feel? A lot of us, I understand it, we rely on external factors to see, if you like, gauge the progress. We wear these different Hume bands, Whoop watches, Apple watches, Samsung watches, all giving us feedback, all these internal metrics. But when was the last time you sat down and think, I really feel good about my fitness and health and well-being? Sounds a little abstract, but that's what I'm trying to get you to think. I want you to feel, because you are the master and the maker. How you feel is the only important thing. Not what the watch says, not what the band says, not what even I say as a coach. It's all about how the client feels. So think about how you can measure progress in how you feel and how you function. Did you go out for that walk and next day you woke up, you didn't feel stiff, achy and pain and think, I'm going to have to sit down on my bum for the next week too because that was too much. Measure it in things such as how you feel and how you function. And number 4, choose coaching that talks about vitality and longevity, not just before and after photos. And as you know, that's what the Core Build Accelerator system is all about. It says it in the Bible, and something I refer to a lot. In 2 Corinthians, it has a line that I like to talk to my clients about, and that is that through the outer self, though the outer self is wasting away, the inner self is being renewed day by day. And that's a reframe that I want you to talk about. We're not just talking about what you can do in a set period of time, so you've got some before and after photos to show off. We're talking about rejuvenating, revitalizing, renewing daily. We're not fighting the client. That's what I want you to think about. Reframe your mind's thinking every day and renewing. If you think about the Latin prefix word re, you heard me talk about it a lot of time, the real rejuvenation program. That prefix means back, or it means again, or anew. And that's what you're doing. That's what your goal is to do every single day, to regenerate, to revitalize, to renew, reinvigorate. That's what we're getting you to think about on a daily basis. So let us recap now on what we've been talking about today. We've been saying strong, not skinny, the end of the transformation challenge. We don't want you to think about just having a short window of success. You want to have success for the rest of your life. The transformation challenge sells that deadline protocol. Do this by this period of time, which I understand that can be important, especially if you've got a specific goal. But what it does, it burns midlife bodies out. It hurts them. So if you're in that middle age group, older age group, 45, 50, 65, 70, that transformation challenge is not going to see you for the long haul. Short term, perhaps, but long term. So we need to think about trading that for vitality, function, and longevity. Or as I say, CIA, consistent, intelligent approach to activity. Strong, not skinny. Renewed, refreshed, re-energized, revitalized on a daily basis, not racing against the clock. And this is my invitation to you to consider joining our Core Build Accelerator system. The cohort is open now. The next program is going to start in September. So if you find yourself in a position right now where you're ready to restore, energize, revitalize, and you want to do it in a way that's going to set you up for success, not just for 8 weeks, but for the rest of your life. You want to live pain-free. You want to get energized. You want to go about your daily activities with confidence and competence. I'm going to leave all the details in the show notes so you can find out more and you can join us. And we start in September. And I want you to be part of it. If that's not something you want to consider right now, you can pick up the 7-day reset roadmap. It'll give you the simple steps that you can start today to start upgrading your fitness and your health. You can download that for free. All right, my friends, I trust you found today's episode insightful, uplifting, and informative. Remember, all your hard work is beginning to pay off, so I'm asking you to continue to do that, sharing the Real Longevity podcast with your community connections. Remember to subscribe to the channel, follow, like it, and leave us a 5-star review because that helps the program and the episodes get out to a wider audience. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're building a community which is going to help not just myself, not just yourself, but the world find freedom through the vehicle of fitness and well-being. We're looking to build that community, and your hard work is continuing to help us to do that. So I really want to say a big thank you, and I appreciate it. Remember, you can connect with me in all the usual places: LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and why don't you not consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, where we have bonus content coming out each and every week. I'll leave all the connection details in the show notes. So, thank you again. Until next time, remember, be well, be wise, be cool, be calm, and keep it real. Blessings and chi. Peace.